Joining us now from House Judiciary, Florida Congresswoman Laurel Lee. Congresswoman, Gavin Newsom is misleading voters out there, and Democrats overreacting on voter ID. What are they doing? Do they just want to cheat?
He is absolutely misleading Americans with these scare tactics, and it's just not based in fact. When I was Florida's Secretary of State, we would face these same types of baseless allegations, even frivolous litigation, saying that if we required ID or if we had strong elections measures, that it would somehow affect turnout or suppress turnout. And what we see in the data is that it's absolutely false. States like Florida, states like Georgia that have these good measures, good elections administration, it encourages confidence in the system and it encourages voting. And by the way, this is not a partisan issue. I'm surprised to see even Gavin Newsom taking this position because even in California, there's incredible support for the basic concept of voter ID and ID being part of elections.
Yes, 71% of Democrat voters want voter ID. California voter ID proposition, Congressman, gaining momentum in California. A petition to get voter ID and let only U.S. citizens vote has surpassed the required 875,000 signature threshold. It's going to be on the November ballot. Is that what Newsom is worried about?
That's exactly right. So even though policymakers in California are refusing to take common sense measures about elections and just tell voters the truth, Californians themselves say enough is enough. And so there's an incredible building of support around this ballot initiative, which would require ID basically as an amendment to their constitution, since their policymakers in the Capitol won't do it themselves.
No, we talked about
that. Shows you.
Yeah, go ahead, finish.
That shows you what we see, which is it really cuts across the country, regardless of political affiliation. This is a common sense issue that Americans can support.
Let's talk about cheating. The problem is California and 20 other U.S. states like Minnesota have same-day voter registration on election days. And election watchdogs say there's little to no vetting of even addresses, even if they're citizens or not. 3 of these states, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, are swing states. So same-day voting, same-day voter registration on election day. What do you think? That welcomes cheating.
Well, it's all the more reason why verifying identity is critical. I do not support the notion of same-day voter registration, and we're working on things in the House right now to try to help bring best practices across the country. Things like having ballots returned by election day. Okay. That measure alone makes a huge difference in knowing who won, knowing how ballots are being handled, getting elections on election night. So
and there's no cheating.
Each one of these things is so important.
Congresswoman Laurel Lee, thank you so much. We ran out of time. Thank you so much.